What is up, straight up Tennessee family, and happy Saturday to you all. It's your boy Ruck in the building, man. Go ahead and do me a massive favor if you would. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and join the channel, man. If it gives you that option, man, we are climbing in subscribers and climbing in members as well, man. And we just want to continue to grow this family, this channel. And you guys are a massive part of that. So go ahead and do me that favor, man. Like, comment. It just helps the YouTube algorithm and helps us get this thing further and further to more Vol fans just like you and I. If you haven't been living under a rock, then you know that today was scrimmage 1 of fall camp. It is now completed, and we have news and notes, some insider notes there, some close relationships that we have as well, who were able to actually sit in. Families were able to go to the scrimmage today. It was closed off to the media, closed off to the public, obviously, but Vol families of players and some other VFLs were able to be in attendance. And there's a lot of good things that came out of today, and there are also a lot of things that you just are disappointed about. I think that's the word to say, disappointed. You don't want to say mad. You're just kind of disappointed. And you knew a lot of this being scrimmage number 1. Like, that's what happens in scrimmages, especially this early in fall camp, right? We're 8 practices in now, which is a little over a week, right? And Tennessee right now, due to load management, has done a lot of 2-on, 1-off. Like, we've not had a successful string of 3 or 4 practices together. It's been 2 practices, 1 off, 2 practices, 1 off, 2 practices. And one of the practices, like today, was a scrimmage. And so you just haven't had a practice rhythm that is, a consecutive amount of days strung together. And it's just kind of the thing that Heupel does. I think with Josh Heupel being a former player, obviously a head coach at a high level now here in the SEC with us, he understands load management. And I think that is what he is going to bring, and what he has brought to Tennessee is making sure that our guys are not only ready to play for practice or for scrimmages, but that they're ready to play on game day. And so I think game day is more important, but I think that practice right now is even more important for us because we have a lot of new things going on with us. We're going to have a brand new quarterback. That's inevitable. A brand new wide receiver core with, if you don't want to count Chris Brazzell, that's cool. But this is all new, man. This is all new. And for a lot of these guys not playing and not being out there is very worrisome to me. And I don't like it. And so I'm hoping that we see some growth in that area here in the next week or so. Obviously, a lot of guys have not been practicing. A lot of guys are getting healthy. A lot of guys are healthy and still not practicing. And so it's weird to me. And I completely understand why Heupel's doing it, but I also don't necessarily have to like that he's doing it, right? So let's just kind of start off this way. What was the talk out of this scrimmage today? Well, the talk out of the main thing of the talk. Sorry, excuse me. The main talk out of the scrimmage today is what we thought. The defense won. The defense absolutely dominated from what we know. The defense looked great. I heard a lot of great things from the offense or from the defensive line standpoint of things, from everyone that got in there. Caleb Herring flashed today, had an amazing day. I heard from the linebacker crew, Edwin Spillman made a lot of plays behind the line of scrimmage today. The one thing that I didn't want to hear that we did have to hear is that the defensive back room is kind of depleted right now, obviously due to Boo Carter's quote unquote suspension. If you want to say that, he's not a suspended guy anymore. Obviously, he's getting back and acclimated to the flow of practice, and he played today, but I don't believe he started. But you're seeing a lot of young guys at the corner and safety positions. And so what I'm trying to get to is that Colin Brazil, Chris Brazzell's brother, Colin Brazzell, caught a pick 6 today, and it was off of Joey Aguilar. And so you don't want to hear that, but I'm always interested in the situation, and I don't think we know that, but I'm always interested in how. But at the same time, you're just kind of like, man, this dude's probably not going to play it down for Tennessee this year, and he caught a pick on who could be your potential starting quarterback here in 21 days. And I just heard about the defense. They raved about the defense. The defense did this. The defense did that. The defense was able to do this, and they just dominated. And it was expected, but it is not something you love to hear, right? Because I feel like you want to hear about the offense flashing, and it did. And there's moments that we'll talk about, but I don't know. It just kind of sucks that every single year, really since Hendon's left, you just hear all about the defense, which is amazing because defense is going to win us championships. I mean, I was talking to Dylan the other day, and I was like, dude, how did we win so many games last year? And we were so bad. Like, we were so bad last year in 2024 offensively that it's just still bizarre to me that we won against Florida, how we beat Florida, how we beat Bama. And watching film on those games, it's amazing that we won those games because we looked absolutely horrendous. And I don't want that to happen in 25, and we still have time. But today was not the best day for the offense. The passing game was not good from what we understand. Not a ton of balls on the ground, but there are a lot of inefficiencies from the quarterback position, whether that was on sprint outs, rollouts, pocket presence, max protect calls, just different things from the quarterback position from all three guys. But I do have some specifics on some of them. But all three guys did not operate in the way that Josh Heupel would have approved of. But that's the point in these scrimmages, right? You got a long way to go, and this is your first one. Let's get our feet wet, and let's grow from this, right? I think Tennessee has an opportunity to grow, especially this quarterback position. One second. I think it has a lot of space and a lot of room to grow, and that's what we found out a lot about today. The wide receivers were slim. Let's just talk, I guess, about the injuries and who went and who didn't go. Obviously, Jermont McCoy did not go. Christian Gass didn't go. Josh Josephs, Braylon Staley, and Ricky Gibson all did not play today. Jack Van Dorselaer didn't play. There's a lot of guys that I was surprised. Obviously, Chris Brazzell didn't go. We knew Brazzell wasn't going to go. He hadn't been going. Miles Kisselman didn't go today. Brian Grant, another offensive lineman, did not go. From what I understand, Ty Redmond, who is the freshman that's out playing out of his mind right now, who has been really progressing well over this camp season, he did not go. And Jeremiah Thielander also didn't go today. So that's why you saw a lot of Edwin Spillman. And he flashed, man. He made some plays out there. Supposedly it was a second and long. Got the offense kind of pushed back, and he got a batted ball kind of across the middle. I do not know who threw that ball, but he got a bat down, and that's just huge for me to hear because our linebackers have historically not been great in coverage. And so to hear that Edwin Spillman made some noise in coverage today, that excited me because I'm like, dang, if we can just get guys to get their hands up. You know, Arion Carter caught a pick last year against Florida, but I'm talking about consistently being in your flat, being in your zone, and making an impact in the passing game for the defense. That's huge, man. And so I'm excited to see kind of what Spillman does and how he kind of progresses for the rest of these few weeks. Because if y'all guys don't realize what's happening here, you had a scrimmage today. I think you're going to scrimmage next Friday. And then the next week after that is a mock game week, people. Like, we're mocking what game week is going to look like. Heupel has to start to kind of nail down, like, who are my ones and who are my twos? Like, we've only got 4 or 5 practices before we get there, and we have to now start to narrow this thing down very quickly. I know you're like, Ruck, well, how are we going to narrow this down with the quarterback position? So let's just talk about it today and what happened today in the quarterback realm of things. Jake Merklinger got the first snaps today. From everything I've heard, he wasn't good today. I had a very sneaky suspicion that what we've heard during the weeks with the routes on air and everything like that from Merklinger, I had a very bad feeling that was kind of to tease us a little bit. Like, man, you're hearing Jake, man. Jake went 17 of 18. Like, Jake went, 16 of 15. I don't know, like 15 of 16. Like, man, he's not missing out there on air. But then when we get them pads cracking, like, where is he at? Where's his command of the offense? What's his stability like? Like, what's his mentality like out there when there's 11 on 11 and guns are blazing, bro? Like, where are you? And today, from reports that I've heard, like it checked my box of like I knew I had a feeling like Jake Merklinger wasn't ready, and it's kind of disappointing because you've been there a year, you understand the system. You've sat behind a guy who inevitably left your program in Nico. And now, dude, you've got an opportunity of a lifetime to play earlier than you probably even thought that you would play at Tennessee. And I'm not saying that Jake had a horrendous day, but it wasn't good enough. And he got the first snaps. I don't know any of the specific passing numbers. I didn't get that from anywhere. But from what we know is that Jake didn't have a great day. A lot of the sprint outs and rollouts that we are installing into the system this year, that is where he's struggling right now. Throwing on the run, getting out of the pocket, making the throw on the run. It's where Jake doesn't look the best. And on the other hand, Joey Aguilar, he also didn't have a great day. But when you get him out of the pocket and you get him on the run on a sprint out, and you've got guys running with him, supposedly this is where Joey is shining right now, throwing the football on the run, getting into space, getting guys open, throwing them open, and making plays. But like I said earlier in the video, like Joey Aguilar threw a pick today to Colin Brazil. Like, we don't want to hear that. Like, we're throwing picks to fourth string walk-ons. Like that's not what we want. But again, like, I want to know the situation. How did it happen? What was the situation? But we won't know. But guys, here's what I'm hearing, man. I'm hearing George McIntyre is the most consistent guy right now. And when you hear that, for me, I instantly go, well, I mean, yeah, but he's a 4-star, 5-star talent, but ended up being a 4-star and is playing against 2s and 3s when he's practicing. Like, his reps are not against the 1s, right? So he should look great. But Heupel's not ready to stop giving all of these guys reps. Like, George McIntyre could be in this race. Like, he really could be. If he's really as consistent as what we're hearing and what people are saying, George McIntyre is just as much in this race as Joey and Jake. How true is that? I don't know. But if he's the one that's looking the best, like, you got to start to give him reps behind the first team line of scrimmage against the first team defense. Like, if he is the guy that's looking the best so far, I don't care who's out there with him when he's playing, we got to give him reps. And Josh Heupel said today, like, we don't anticipate dramatically changing the reps right now. Like, we think like all of these guys still have a fair shot to win it. And we'll talk more about Heupel's press conference tomorrow night, man, when we're live. But what do you guys think about this, man? Like, are you excited after scrimmage 1, or are you a little disappointed? Because I'm a little disappointed. Knowing that the offense wasn't going to win, I knew that, but it just sounds like a remake of 2024. And I'm just praying the passing offense gets somewhere in the next few practices before the next scrimmage next Friday. So y'all throw it in the chat, man. What excites you so far about what you heard about scrimmage number 1? And then what are you disappointed about right now? Like the comments up, like this thing. And don't forget, man, we're live tomorrow night at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Me, C2, Dill, hopefully Sale and Turner hop on with us as well. But man, it's going to be a fun night recapping this scrimmage all as boys and diving into some more specific topics. But until then, man, y'all like, comment, subscribe. I love y'all. We love y'all. And y'all know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. We'll see you live tomorrow night.